Hi there, well thanks for waiting. This is part 1 of What If Kamen writer Genm was in RWBY. So let's start. Chapter 1, Kamen writer Genm. Level 0. Earth, residential building, morning. Ah yes, the wonderful world here on Earth, the soothing ocean, the nice clear sky, everything is so beautiful outside. You see, I love going outside to do extraordinary things I do for fun in my usual schedule of social interacting with other human beings. I do sports, I read, I study, I'm schmert, and I have friends. Which is what you thought I was going to say, but ha. As if I have time to go outside in this cruel lying world. You see sir, I mean ladies and gentlemen. I've been taking my glorious time to see more of a certain tokusatsu show that's supposed to be for children. But hey, we adults actually love it. And by adults, I mean I'm just your average 18-year-old dude who doesn't have much to do in life but play video games. Let me remind everyone that we all have an inner child inside our hearts, it's true. Ignore my stupid quote-unquote mumbling, what I actually wanted to say is that I finally bought wait for it, a toy from Japan. But not just any toy, a game driver. Done. Now you're going to ask me this, why are you saving money over a childish toy? You see. People enjoy this show so much the toys are like collecting Pokemon cards or limited edition action figures. Although they don't get sold out time to time. Now, what is this game driver you ask? Why, it's from that certain tokusatsu show I mentioned before. It's from a show called Kamen Rider X8. You seriously don't know what it is? Who, my heart? My soul. It hurts. How could you? The fact that you have no knowledge of this great show. Acting aside, I'll explain the show easy enough to understand what I'm talking about. Kamen Rider X8's first episode shows a flashback at the beginning where a kid has been severely injured, transported to a familiar hospital. One of the doctors said that they will save the boy when he was slowly closing his eyes. Years later, the boy who was saved goes by the name of Emu Hojo vowed to go to the very same hospital after the doctor saved his life to aid others in his upcoming future of being a doctor. He's an intern, by the way, so he somewhat has experienced his time there. I will point out that in the intro opening, they pretty much said that a new virus came along, blah blah people dying, disappearing in the subtitles. However, not much is said, so it's alright. Emu's just your ordinary doctor who plays video games on a daily basis. Not much happens that's important because he solves practical problems. But later, he has to deal with some brat who hated staying inside the hospital. I don't really care much about the kiddo since not much happened besides his illness. So, after the boy runs away, Emu tried to help out and he gets pushed away instead. The gamer doctor, being the nicest man ever, asks the kid if he wants to go outside and see a video game that was being developed by your totally a nice game director who was announcing it to the public. The bitch, I mean a nurse who goes by the name of Asuna, was trying to find a certain figure over some secret thing going on in the background, and roll in the silly moments with Emu. No, shut your mouth, she's not from Sword Art Online. All of a sudden, Emu saw the boy he's been taking care of turns into some sort of weird cheeseball. The kid actually had an unknown illness called the game disease. Game disease is where you get infected due to your stress rising or by other means. It's by a video game virus or something around that. But the game disease actually gets much worse than you think later on the show, which I highly recommend watching, by the way. What the hell am I saying? Just watch it already. Alright, introductions first. Sup. My name's Ace Valiant. No, don't you dare talk shit about my last name. It's my mother's last name, that's why. Which I still have, by the way. Ahem, like I already said about my age, so pretty much I just graduated, so, aka, I'm schmert. Totally am a smart person. I know how to do quick maths. Right, guess my boring job is someone who usually does the cleaning, of course. No, I'm not a janitor. I'm just some dude who cleans in some stores, takes out the garbage, and that's really it. My clothes consist of what some people's words say, ha, you don't have a fashion sense. By their words, but really, I just wear black and white anywhere I go when I feel like buying something from a store or just nothing really. Black sweater, pants, and up to the point of having a white short-sleeve shirt with my running sneakers. My eyes are brown by the way, in case you thought I had some sort of crazy but yet lucky eye color alteration shit like how a fucking shonen has. And yeah, I'm neither buff or chub so I look lean instead. Not that there's anything wrong with your weight, who you are is who you are. Now that's out of the way, it's time to mention I just not only bought a game driver. I bought 4 gas hats. You might be thinking, oh it's the starter ones right? Ha 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 ha. No, if you caught up with the series I'll let you take a guess. One is a proto gas hat, a pretty mighty one let me add. The second is a dangerous gas hat. Third is a sports bike gas hat. And finally, the last one I ordered is a Dragon Knight Hunter gas hat. Get the hint? See, I would love to collect them all, just like these 4 gas hats specifically, cause they looked cool. There I said it. Now hold on, while yes, the other gas hats have been released later on in different sites, but still, I just love their designs. I know it's basically the polar opposite of the pink one, but it's my passion to collect anything that looks cool. Speaking of my passion, I wasted some cash that didn't damage my wallet so I gotta thank those coupons I found in some sites. Anyway for these 4, including the driver. I can say it's pretty much worth the trouble honestly. But bless the mighty Amazon 2-day shipping. This service saves many people who wouldn't have the patience for anything to arrive in 2 or 3 weeks. Hell even a month, from Japan, mind you. Although, if I remember correctly after putting on my casual clothes, I should see if there's an update for the delivery package to come. I booted my computer up, clicking on the interwebs to see when's my order going to arrive. Says here it should be coming in 5 hours or so dash. Ding dong. Well, speak of the devil. I guess I'm those lucky few who get their packages very early. Goo-mee-ee. Creak. Hello? Anyone there? I said as I opened the door slowly as possible, looking around to try and find any mailman left and right. Apparently, there's no one here, hell, I don't see their truck where they usually park in front of my building. Weird. I muttered to myself, looking down to see my package. An open Amazon box package showed in front of my door with no bubble wrappers or anything. I narrowed my eyes, cracking my fists. Oh hell no. They better not have stolen my shit. I had to use this week's paycheck for this. Opening the front door with force, making a small crack on the wall as a result, looking down to see there's still the orders I purchased rightfully so. Oh. So why the hell's it opened? I said, scratching my chin curiously. I'm definitely going to put a complaint because they actually left my fucking package outside open. Taking the opened box with me, I sighed and closed the door behind me. Alright. So, I sighed, taking the gamer driver out, along with the 4 gas hats on my bed. Let's check them out. I started inspecting it closer to see further of their own separate details. The first on my left hand is a device that looks similar to a video game cartridge, with the cover what looks to be the mascot of the device, and the word Might Action X, but yet it's grayed out except the lever and color while the color is all in black. The second on my right hand are the same device just as the previous one, Proto Mighty Action X, but the only thing different is the cover itself, and the color of being it white, while the lever and handle is still black. The words on the cover is, Dangerous Zombie. The third gas hat that's still on my bed has a golden color with a dragon head on the end, with red eyes and shows sharp fangs when you see it much closer. The cover itself has a dragon that's supposed to be the mascot of the game. Said game's title is called Dragon Knight Hunter Z. The fourth is a green-colored gas hat with the cover having different splashed colors with a white sport bike, with the title name Shikaraki Sports in it. Haha, yes. I grinned as I took the gamer driver and put it on my waist, connecting the 2 separate black belts. Let's fucking get this shit started then. Game driver. Wait, what? That's weird. I don't remember them mentioning the driver having batteries installed. Usually, everyone has to buy batteries just for a toy to work. But hey, I'm not gonna complain about free shit. Anyway, this belt feels really tight but somehow fits my waist. That's one of the good things coming from Japan itself. Alright, just by looking at these and holding them. They're definitely worth the money I saved up for. I said, looking at the very two gas hats on both of my hands. I crossed my arms together with a sadistic laugh to get in the zone, just like a certain madman. Grade 10-0. I pushed both gadgets lever next, flipping them down at the same time. Mighty. Action. X. Dangerous. Zombie. Hench dash. My eyes widened as soon I felt a sharp spike hitting inside my body. Pull off. I started to feel nauseous, my throat felt like it wanted to vomit, so I had to cover my mouth to stop any leaks. My body was shaking, trying to hold in whatever's causing it to suffer. Then, I watched static coming out of the two gas hat, glancing at the visible particles coming out of the toy. It looked like a glitch from a video game, but the colors were resembling Maxo and DZ's color. The two games then glowed bright, they were gray and purple particles of pixels. I took the most awful feeling ever, the static glitches noticed me. I tried to get out of my room, but I threw up once more. Fuck. The particles then absorbed itself to my body with no hesitation. I can see my life slowly dying from the virus. Ayo. I yelled again, trembling under the mere amount of viruses flowing inside me. I wheezed, trying to catch my deep breath, sweat starts pouring out from my body. No. Looking down on the carpet, I spat out blood. They can't be the real deal. I cried in anguish, vomiting out more blood out of my throat due to the game disease making my condition worse. Clutching onto my heart, I felt morbid. And no. I concluded that these two are in fact real. And if so, when someone uses the proto-gas hat without the compatible surgery dash, my body started to go limp. It guarantees that it'll kill anyone who tries to. I watched as two of my gas hat floating. I looked at Dangerous Zombie and clenched my fist. Die. I felt my eyes closing, my conscience telling me to sleep. No. The last of my will die off. I can see purple steam coming out of me, tears trailing down my cheeks. And no. I don't want to go. Only met with silence, fading away from existence. Unknown location, night. MH. HM. Am I still alive? I can hear birds chirping in the background. The soothe calm wind touching my body, it's so cold. Right, I should get up then. Getting back up from whatever I was laying on, I recalled that tragic sudden mystery that's lingering in my mind. What the hell even happened? I knew that I was inside my room, looking at the amazing gas hats covers one by one. But yet, when I pushed Dangerous Zombie and Proto Mighty Action X levers at the same time, I died. Now I'm lost. Sigh, remember kids. To always let your parents volunteer to check if a goddamn toy would either A. Kill you or B. Mixes your DNA with the game disease. The game disease. Right, the two gas hats should have been a guaranteed death by now. Since I'm still alive and all, but yet, I feel weird. Where am I anyway? Looking to my left and right, I spotted trees and the plain grass terrain. The wind breezing through me again. Oh, don't tell me I'm outside? Curse you world. Trying to force me to socially interact with people I don't care. Well shit, looks like I'm in a dark forest. From what my gut's telling me, I'm somewhere that shouldn't be here in the first place. Unfortunately, I'm here because of a damn incident that I hope I'll find out sooner or later. I don't know how the hell I can explain whatever just happened to me earlier to someone who's going to ask me a shit ton of questions. So, I'll need to bullshit this one way or another if or when I'm found. Well, since it's nighttime right now, I should watch the stars. Raising my head up to notice, scattered pieces of who the fuck nuked the moon? The moon that would perfectly be a circle has few parts of it gone. It would have been a half moon or a quarter, but no. some disappeared, no, as if someone did it on purpose. Yeah, I'm gonna take a picture of that. This is actually cool to look at. Maybe I should take a photo and show it to everyone. Taking my Android phone out of my pocket. I tapped the camera app and being careful at the precise quality of the picture and done. This would be a great discovery for astronomy teachers to research it and try to find out who or what the hell could have caused this. I said to myself after I closed the gallery app. But I realized something, the top black bar on my phone screen shows. No signal? What the hell? There's actually no signal where I am. That's bad. Hell, not even my 4G data can help without any sort of connection to the most. Fuck, this might be the time where I'll have to be aware of my surroundings until I find one. Then, I'm gonna have to keep the battery safe. Turning off my phone, for now, I decided to brush off whatever dirt or grass are stuck on my outfit. This will clearly leave a few stains on my clothes. I was interrupted when my clothes didn't look dirty, it was pretty much in good condition still. Alright, due to this forest looking pretty dangerous to stay in. I'm likely going to get savaged by animals or anything that could possibly kill me. Ignoring the probability of getting hunted. I checked down to see my gamer driver still on my waist while the 4 gas hats are laying on the ground. How did these stay with me? I'm sure they would be lost at the moment I died. Or, at least I don't think so. Guess I could put them with me on this so-called totally logical riderways where they somehow bring out their drivers or whatever they keep it in. No one's answered that really important question, even I don't know how to answer said question too. Sigh, let's take these as sticky notes in my mind. In case if my hunch is right and by God, I don't want it to be right. Okay. I feel weird yet adjusting much better than I thought. I can still feel things, my hands didn't get blurry after looking at them. I'm alive, that's a first, of my many hunches answered anyway. If my other's right, then I should at least sort out my plan in terms of using these other gas hats. First off, I'll likely use the other gas hats, such as Dragon Night Hunter Z, and Dangerous Zombie whenever I face someone or something that's a strong enemy, or a strong creature. Taking the laid down gas hats in my pockets, for now, I took a glance at the gamer driver still on my waist. This means I'll have to rely on Shikaraki Sports in terms of a messy situation. Arrangements and keeping a healthy mind finished. I guess I'll just have to test my second important hunch right no dash. Rustle. Behind me was a small bush rustling, now having to take caution of this sound. I slowly walked towards where the noise is coming from. Usually, there's always plenty of people who would walk towards something suspicious and die in a pretty brutal way. But I'm prepared. You know why? Because I got nothing but my smarts. After taking a few steps, I saw a small and adorable creature having a mask-like white bony structure overlaying the upper front of its head. It also has 4 glowing red eyes, 2 on each side of its head. The headpiece also includes a dorsal spine or fin pop out from the bush. Ah, it's a baby Nevermore. Wait. Baby Nevermore. A Nevermore is a dark creature called Grimm. Grimms are beasts that follow any negative emotions around them. Moon almost destroyed. I'm in an emerald-like forest. Oh no. Oh no. Hell no. Straight up. Fuck no. When you see a Grimm and currently outside in the emerald fucking forest, you know what means? That's when you know you're in RWBY. You see. I would be like those fanboys, or fangirls. Be excited about getting to live in a world where everyone always fantasied to be in. But in my case, it's not very much a good time to express how much I'm going to get fucked with this world. Let me set up a few quick reasons why I'm not happy staying here in RWBY. The first reason is mostly that I'm in the Emerald Forest, a Grimm-infested area capable of killing me. Which isn't a good thing when you're someone who just landed from Earth. The second reason, if you're in the world of RWBY, then you should know actually, that we all know what's going to happen later in the canon days. But if I want to save the world, then I'd have to actually risk my own goddamn life to do so. Finally, the last and third reason should be obvious to point out. I don't have any fighting skills, nor any bullshit techniques that I can defend myself with because a bunch of characters has actual experience in fighting. The only thing I could do is fight with my 2 hands, and that's it. God, I can't catch a break. Sigh. Now hopefully, 2 certain large Grimms aren't here to get me. Because I don't want to get devoured so early here in the volumes. Actually, that's a good question. Am I in the first volume? Second, third, or fourth volumes? If I'm in the other volumes than the first, then I guess I don't have to deal with the large Nevermore or the large Deathstalker, since they would be dead by now. However, if I'm in the third volume, then I can conclude my reason here is I'm just fucked. Because due to how I'm horrible at everything I do while also knowing Doomsday would be around the corner, I would likely have to say fuck that, I'm going to sleep until the day I die my guy. Or, maybe live as a hobo who has nowhere else to go. Oh well, I'll figure it out once Ojbin takes me to his school. So, either Ojbin or Sexy Witch Lady with a WHI I mean. Glinda Goodwitch must have found out an 18-year-old is lost in a forest and they have to escort him out from there. Meaning, they'll come to the rescue, right? Right? The small baby Nevermore looked up towards me as it tilted its head. I did the same as well, glancing at its eyes to see if it's angered by now, which it hasn't yet. Don't the babies peck us to death or use their sharp feathers capable of slicing off a finger if we're near them? That would be pretty annoying to deal with, except, this one isn't doing that for some reason. Wait, can people tame Grimms? I've never read anyone taming a Grimm in either a FIC or in the show itself besides Salem. Specifically, ones that aren't, now say it with me y'all. Ivayan. You know what? Fuck Salem and her plans, Cinder too, but not the physical way, more so metaphorically. If I can tame a Grimm like this baby burb, then I sure as hell will actually, that would be pretty badass. To raise a small Nevermore who would grow to be a giant awesome bird soaring in the sky with that intimidating presence. Though that would take plenty of years as such for them to grow. Let's see, I'll be fine just trying to pet it slow and soft. Reaching my left hand down to it, the little Nevermore raised its head at my right hand. It's not even going to bite my finger or take caution at all. Alright, let's test it. Moving my right index finger to stroke its chin, then there's the soft fur I felt when I nudged its head as I gently pet it. The baby Nevermore cawed in what I can guess is a good feeling. Then it started walking towards me, nudging its head on my right hand. Although it was vague to take a glimpse of, I noticed a dark glow cover it. Sitting down on the grass, the little bird-like Grimm hopped on my right hand. We stared at each other for a bit, but the baby Nevermore cawed affectionately. This bird. I want this bird. I want this fucking Nevermore. It's my new pet now. So, now that I have gotten myself a pet, seeing it's basically a bird, I already got a name for it. After a few minutes passed by, I moved my right hand, which the little Nevermore was still on, to my right shoulder. It's stupid to try and communicate with a Grimm. Maybe I can ask if it wants a name? Hey! I caught the little Grimm's attention. Want to have a new name besides just a Nevermore? It nodded. Oh, do you want to be named Aerosmith? The small bird raised its head in thought. Aero means wind, and seeing how you usually fly in the air when you grow bigger. I thought adding Smith to it as if you have always smitten your foes with the power of the wind guiding you. I explained. The little Nevermore nodded furiously, cawing as it flew in the sky trying to imitate its soon-to-be growth. Fucking sweet, Aerosmith it is. I officially announced his new name with a smirk on my face as I pet it. Aero just squawked in a happy mood by flapping its wings repeatedly. Watch out, world. You're going to see the greatest moment where a human teams up with a small bird. Who will grow to be the most dangerous Grimm ever by yours truly? I raised my head up high while holding my left arm up. I scratched the back of my head with a sweat drop. You know, I feel like I might be the one who'll have to be careful doing so. If it happens, then I'll see what I can do. After walking anywhere that could be a safe place to rest, except I can't since I'll straight up get devoured by a Beowulf in this forest. You might possibly be asking, why a Beowulf? Well, Beowulfs are known from what or rather we all saw in the show who mainly appears in every bad situation or battle per se in almost every episode and volumes. And so, I concluded that I'll probably face a Beowulf eventually. Fuck it, I'll just walk. I resisted the urge to facepalm. Why the fuck is it taking so long? Is someone going to rescue me or am I going to die? Arrowcod, agreeing with me on this stupid situation of ours. Thanks for being on my side. It's a pain in the ass when you have no one backing you up, you know? I said to it as I felt like communicating with Arrow could be a good thing to do. Although I'll probably get weird looks from people thinking that I'm a maniac. Which I'm not. More bushes started rustling violently around me, as the ground quaked from big steps that made me stop where I was going. Yeah. I'm gonna have to do a rain check on relying upon a professor or a team to get me into changing my schedule of staying alive, to embracing death o'clock. Then again, when I took up both DZ and PMAX before I arrived here, usually every writer's driver actually works once transported into another world. Or, so I thought in those fanfics. But maybe. No, that wouldn't make sense. The toys weren't even toys to begin with when they arrived at my house. Hell, the gas hats killed my body and brought me here in the first place. That reminds me of every FIC where people's toy drivers become real, yet mine was actually real before I even opened the box. So then, that means taking out one of the gas hats under a pocket of my sleeve shirt, it's the Pmaxo gas hat. I'm now compatible to use him for battle. But who could have done this? To hell with it, I'm not going to find answers when these Grimms are coming up with their plan to eat my body right now. Growl! A sudden black blur popped out from the bush it came from, following by two other strange black figures dancing around the bushes with three coming out in order. Yep, I figured it had to be those Grimms. One of the strange black figures snarled with a howl, the other two did as well, letting their tongue out licking off the saliva. Alright, guess I'm gonna have to give it all with fighting then. The moon casts over the three creatures and I, as the shadows were fading, fully revealing what exactly those creatures are. And I couldn't be surprised that I'm right. All three creatures are wearing a bone-like mask with red markings, as well as the bone-like spikes protruding from their arms, back, and knees. Their hands and feet are also tipped with long, sharp, white claws. Beowulfs, great! My luck is starting to rub me off. I grumbled to myself as Arrow squawked in worry. Since I don't want to die again, I'm fighting back in full force. I glanced at Pmaxo on my right hand. I nudged Arrow. Hey Arrow, mind staying away from here? You can come back once I'm done fighting these beasts in a flash. Arrow, who squawked in response, flew up in the air. I tightly held Pmaxo on my right hand. Mimicking the same pose the original writer did before, his battles flashing in my mind. The Grimms and Remnant that everyone has to fight in order to survive in this cruel world. I closed my eyes, then took a deep breath, in and out. Focus Ace, it's do or die now. I opened my eyes with confidence. Let's do this. Here I go. Ace whispered to himself as he started locking eyes at the Beowulfs, focusing on his enemies. He brought his hand up, signaling all three to come at him. The few Beowulfs snarled. With no hesitation they started running towards the young man. Bring it on! Ace pushed Pmax's lever down. In slow motion, a gray holographic screen popped out behind him. Mighty Action X. The screen shows the same mascot for the game with everything all grayed out, the title being Mighty Action X. Chocolate-like bricks popped out of the game screen everywhere around him, protecting him from the upcoming attack by forming into a wall around him from the three Grimm's claws sparked away. Everything surrounding him began to change. Pixel gray pulses of energy started to ripple everywhere, covering the area into the game area. The area was pixelated at first, but it went back to normal. Metal started popping out of the holographic screen to the random spots. Pmaxo's bricks first pushed the three Beowulfs away, then dissipated after successfully blocking their claws. The young man's smirk slowly turned a bit sadistic, as his eyes glowed brightly. Grade 0. Ace flipped the gas app down, inserting the game in GD's main slot. Gashado. Henshin. He said as he pulled the pink lever, revealing a display of the same mascot character but much taller than the chibi form. Gakken. The middle wolf-like Grimm attempted to devour Ace's body, but the electricity emitted to the Grimm paralyzed. Level up. Mighty jump. Mighty kick. MIGH tie. Action. X. The same holographic of the same design shown on the center, he changed into what's supposed to be level 2 of the form. Now wearing a black bodysuit with white lines running down of his body, with a silver chestplate on the center resembling a game controller with 4 colors on it. He saw the life bar on his chest. Below the life bar shows 2 weapon-like icons, one being a sword and the other a hammer. His helmet resembles the same mascot character on the screen, but the eyes are red, and the spiky hair's black. Level 0 is the weakest level. But, it comes with a few surprises that's not really much of use. For now. He sighed. If I was able to henshin into this, then doesn't that mean I have? Ace turned his head to see a heart-shaped logo with numbers showing what he wanted to see. Lives, 99. Level, 0. No fucking way. I have 99 lives. Ace let out his joy up in the air, jumping up and down. He coughed his throat to fix his composure, then looking straight at the 3 monsters. I'm Kamen Rider Genm. Level 0. Guess I can say this catchphrase then. Don't mind if I do. He grinned, pointed at his life gauge with his right thumb. I'll clear this game even if it means using all my continues. He said, sliding his right thumb to the left of his gauge. Ace held his right arm out, a holographic wave appeared in front of him. Different looks of weapons being displayed as such with profiles circling around, but some had question marks. Ah, so I can only get weapons for each and different gas hats I have. Oh well, let's go with the classics then. He said as he reached towards a hammer-like weapon profile in front of him. Gashikan Breaker. Said very weapon materializes on his hand. The weapon itself has a pink mohawk, 2 different buttons on the front. A pink-colored A button letter, and a green B button letter. Can't really bop you 3 with this mode, so let's go with the second option. He tapped the pink button once, the pink mohawk faced up into revealing a sharper look. Ja-kin. The announcement along with effects added by pressing the A button, changing the hammer's mohawk up into sword mode. Alright. He taunts the 3 Beowulfs with his left hand. Come on. You scared or something? The 3 Beowulfs growled, all together rushing towards him. Oh shit. He paled, immediately mashing the B button. Let me just press the B button real quick. He said as he charged in with his blade, which was a reckless thing to do. Ace's weapon clashed with one of the Grimm's claws, struggling to keep it up. He gets knocked back towards a couple of trees as he landed on his face first. He facepalms after realizing one of the biggest disadvantages. His leg wobbles as he tries to stand up. He looks down to hear beeping where his game life chest is. It went down close to 1. Great, I forgot one thing I fucking hate. Since I'm level 0. Ace frowns as the Beowulfs were laughing. I'm the weakest rider ever. Ace sighed. Looks like I'm gonna have to improvise, huh? He smirks as he jumps up high, landing on a platform above the Beowulfs. He does so again repeatedly until he hits a brick with his right fist. After it broke itself, a coin flipped next to him as he was pretty amazed at the details. Huh, didn't think I'd see an energy item in first person bigger than the toy version. Right in front of Ace is a magenta medal that depicted 2 faded copies splitting off of a rider. Ah, separation. Honestly, I'm fine with just 3 more. He said. Flicking the medal as he absorbed it, the energy pulses then caused his body to split 3 copies of himself. The 3 copies looked back at the Grimm and smirked. Everyone. You ready to kick some Grimm ass? The real Ace yelled. All of them nodded in sync, taking out their own Gashikan weapons. Let's do it! They started running towards the Grimms and dodged each of their swipes. Ace number 1, however, blocked it and punched its right arm, causing it to crack itself. Ace number 2 elegantly raised his weapon like a rapier and poked out one on the right's body and slashed it away from him. Ace number 3 grabbed his weapon to cause sparks and grinned as he slashed another's arm off and attempted to stab it. Ace number 1 used his straight right hook to the leader, causing a big impact. Each repeatedly tapped the B button on the sword-like weapon, sending a barrage of slashes towards the Grimms, slowly tearing them apart with ease. The only Grimm remaining was the leader of their pack. Number 1 bowed. Well, it seems that's the end of that. He disappeared with number 2 smirking, and number 3 crossing his arms. All 3 copies were reabsorbed back to Ace. He felt his body shiver but shrugged it off. Guess today's not your lucky day then, huh? He grinned. It's time for the finisher. He takes out the Proto Mighty Action X gas hat from the Henshin slot driver. Gashin. Ace blew the cartridge, then slots into the Kaimwaza slot. Gash it. Kaimwaza. Gray static sparks started sparkling around the sword as he took his stance. Mighty. Critical finish. His helmet's red eyes glowed from the announcement and took a step in while pointing his sword to the center. Hi-ya. Ace gripped his sword tightly and slashed in a vertical move. The darkness-filled wave went through the Beowulf's body, easily slicing it in half. The last Beowulf exploded once, revealing its left side of his body sliding off the other, blocking out of Ace's view. A message popped up as well with your classic 8-bit victory theme. Game clear. I took a deep breath and took off the imaginary sweat of my helmet. Phew. Man, I got so exhausted from actually fighting for once in my lifetime. I went down on my knees as exhaustion took over me. Yeah, even though I've never actually had to fight to survive. Copying those anime characters' sword style since I've never actually trained made me tired as hell. I definitely have to train. But yet, the 3 Beowulf's body started to turn into essence instead of fading away. That's odd, they should already be gone by now like the show did. Suddenly, each of the Grimm's essences was absorbed inside my body as I suddenly felt better. Wait, what the hell was that? Level up. Didn't think it can do that, but alright. My eyes bulged from seeing the pop-up notifications on my visor. Every stats has been raised by your current level. Grimm Tame level raised by your current level. Level 3. Hold on a second, I don't remember that being in the show for X8 and RWBY. But yet, doesn't that mean each time I level up, my skills go up by each level? Oh good god, that's awesome. So yeah, I'll be pretty strong per level, which is going to be really useful for me. You know, I don't regret having this gas hat. Yeah sure, I'll probably die occasionally, but hey, I come back stronger though. Wait a second, Grimm Tame level? You mean to tell me each time I defeat a Grimm, I can tame him as well? Fuck you Salem. I'm taking this Nevermore bird with me and you're not going to steal him away from me. Yeah, that's right, him. If I'm going to be completely honest, I didn't think every Grimm had a gender in RWBY. But meh, screw logic, let's just go with it. Now hopefully, that little action might catch Oz's attention, perhaps a chance to get in Beacon. Then again, there's always a 100% chance of attending Beacon. Unless you're one of those people who are strong, likely in their mid-20s, and a badass. You'll need it, or maybe you're evil and all. After that short battle, it sounds like no one's coming after me. Guess that means I can safely de-henshin then. Nodding, I closed the lever back, covering the screen that triggered a sound once done so. Gachin. Confirming that, I took out PMAX from the Henshin slot and placing it back into my secret short-sleeve pocket. Gashin. Once done that, a bright light flashed showing white pixels fading away with my rider form, reverting back into my casual form. Ka. Ha. I looked up to see Arrow slowly landing on the former's right shoulder. You came back. Thanks, I guess. Arrow caws happily, as he shook his head. I smiled. Well, you're now my first friend in this world, I guess. In the Grimm list section anyway. I chuckled. Arrow nudged his cheeks into mine, causing me to snicker a bit. Hey, stop it, that tickles. Ahem. Ah, that's gotta be Ashpin. I turned my head around to see a white-haired man wearing shaded glass spectacles and a small, purple, cross-shaped pin on the cowl around his neck. His outfit mainly consists of an unzipped black suit over a buttoned vest and green shirt, along with black trouser shoes and long, dark green pants. He's carrying along a cane and a mug that's brewing with steam. Ashpin, the headmaster of Beacon Academy, behind him is what looks to be an aircraft of sorts. Right, the bullhead. Oh boy, there's the most beautiful lad, the staff member to Beacon Academy. Yeah, totally meant to say that. Behind Ashpin is a woman who appears to be a middle-aged lady that has very light blonde hair tied back in a bun with a curl hanging down the right side of her face. Her eyes are bright green and she wears thin ovular glasses. Glinda Goodwitch. Hey there! I waved at Ashpin and gracefully bowed towards Glinda. It's a lovely night, isn't it, my lady? I said with the same smile on my face. Damn it me. One time I try to be a gentleman and she's probably too old for me. Glinda narrowed her eyes at me. There goes strike one. Arrow titled his head as usual. If only you could talk. Oh well, let's hear the lecture. Glinda stepped in with her usual stern look and tapped her heel. Please, step into the bullhead. She asked. What I could hear is her teeth gritting. Yep, sounds like she'll whoop my ass if I deny her request. I wasn't intending on leaving them behind, so I did the most common thing to do. Alrighty then. I complied, but also pointed at Arrow, who was still on my right shoulder. But can he come as well? Ashpin still unfazed, although Glinda's reaction was pretty easy to read by that sudden flinch. No, you absolutely cannot. That Grimm could potentially attack anyone inside the shoe dash. Of course, but make sure it doesn't grow to kill any of my students. Ashpin answered, interrupting Glinda. Take that you be Miss Goodwitch. Great, I gotta pretend I don't know any of this shit, and that's not easy to do, mind you. Students? Ashpin didn't answer my question, which meant I'd have to follow through on this trip. Great, I have to hop into the bullhead for further discussion. I getcha. I nodded, knowing what Ashpin's likely going to say. Let's go, Arrow. Arrow agreed as he just stood there on my right shoulder. Bullhead, night. It's been pretty hard to not snap back when you have a very beautiful lady with a riding crop and blonde. I really do hate one of my best friend's kink. 'Cause his influence is affecting me greatly. Glinda crossed her arms as her aura flares with her stern look. Young man, how did you get yourself in the Emerald Forest? I shrugged casually. Beats me, I don't know as much as you do. And trust me, I want to know how I got here in the first place too. Hearing more clattering as she looks ready to lecture me with her whip ready. You were in a forest that's infested with Grimms, surely there must be something? That is before Ashpin stepped in. Before any the action is done. Damn it. Oh, thanks for the save, Oz. Ashpin quickly analyzed me by staring dead into my eyes. Believe me if you don't, Miss Goodwitch, but this young man here sounds like he is telling the truth. I nodded. I would love to talk more about my situation, but since it's nighttime, I'm gonna have to excuse myself to rest for now because I'm dead tired fighting those things. If you don't mind, that is. Ashpin shook his head. No, I don't. I do hope to hear your answer when we arrive at our destination. I put my hands into my pockets and walked away. Don't worry, I will. Oh right, I keep forgetting that the bullhead inside is pretty goddamn cramped. Well, there's the good perk of having the only seat for yourself, while also putting your legs on top of the remaining seats near me. Good times, good times. Besides the quietness, I haven't really talked with neither Ashpin or Glinda after I left where the pilot is safely coordinating Beacon Academy, I'm guessing. It's really hard to be pissed when deep inside you can just feel Glinda's motherly tone as if I was her child. Skipping that topic, aside from her trying to lecture me, I found out one thing, likely they saw and just witness everything that includes the epic first fight that I could have died in. Which is worse to know that I might have a virus carrying inside me. I'm the type to get stressed with something important and what could really infect the rest of the students. Yet I'm still me, nothing affecting me or hell, even affecting others as well. Weird. Gem's going to be a pain in the ass to henshin when you're the weakest at level 0. However, there are also the good benefits out of that situation. Apparently, I've gained a skill from what my visor said, and I continue leveling up that special skill along with what should be level 0. It's still confusing what made that happen, but the basic summary is that all I just need to do is grind my way. Sounds simple, but hard nonetheless. This skill sounds pretty useful. I didn't even know that Gen had a skill like this in the first place. There could be a connection about this. The sad thing is I don't have anything I could come up with for now. Sigh, I shouldn't think too much about this. I'll need enough energy to wake up all bright and dandy. Anyway, the view here's beautiful and pretty nice to see it from afar inside a bullhead. It reminded me of home, and I'm going to miss it, along with my family too. People tend to fantasize about themselves going to a new world. But in reality, it's not going to be easy, and it'll stay that way till the end. You'll lose everyone you loved, cared for, and the things you worked for just to succeed in life. Still, this also brings an opportunity for you to take, although forced it may be. I'm here because of someone who's either working behind the scene or that they just want me to do something worthwhile in RWBY. I clenched my right fist tightly. If they think being bored and sending someone like me here in RWBY will be fun, then fine. I'll do it, but this is going to be my way. They'll have to suck it up and take what I have in mind that's going to change everything. I gotta stay strong, raise my head up high, and hope I can come back home. I'm going to keep my hope until the end, but for now, I'm hitting the hay for now. After all, these new life-changing events that happened to me today totally drained my mood. I know that there's going to be a wild road of adventure heading towards me once I stay in Beacon, and it's gonna suck. For now, gonna sleep since this could take a while to get used to. I closed my eyes, taking a peaceful ride back to a new home that's waiting for me. To be continued.